Coming up, we will show you how the Pulaski County community is coming together to remember a 10-year-old boy who was killed by a hit-and-run driver earlier this week.
Today, we're getting our first look in over a year at a former Lexington Boy Scout troop leader accused of sexually abusing children decades ago. What happened today in court? Ahead.
I'm Danielle Nottingham in Lake Isabella, California. Coming up, a fast-moving wildfire destroys dozens of homes and threatens hundreds more.
This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Good afternoon to you. Sam has the afternoon off. A candlelight vigil is being organized for a child killed by a hit-and-run driver in Pulaski County.
Meanwhile, investigators are still trying to track down that driver who hit and killed 10-year-old Stanley Turner. Our Hillary Thornton has more on the investigation and plans to remember the boy. It's our top story at 4:30.
As investigators continue to try and find the driver responsible for hitting and killing 10-year-old Stanley Turner, the Pulaski County community is coming together to show support for the young boy's family.
I mean, me being a parent, I can only imagine what they're going through.
For many parents like Leslie Dye and Maria Peterson, the news of the 10-year-old's death hitting close to home, both saying it could have easily been one of their children. The two women helping organize a vigil for Monday, bringing the community together to remember the young boy who they say was always smiling ear to ear. These pictures taken with Dye's daughter at the fair, the two making their way through school together since kindergarten.
They always played with each other on the playground, and she would always come home talking about Stanley, and from what I heard, Stanley always talked about her. And one thing she said she would miss was because every day when she would leave school, he would always say, "See ya, Katie." So I know it's not just rough on her, it's rough on other kids too, along with the family.
They say Monday's vigil a way of showing how much the 10-year-old was loved and to show the family that their community is standing right behind them. That candlelight vigil is planned for Monday evening at 7:30 here in the parking lot next to the Science Hill Post Office. In Pulaski County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Organizers have also made a car decal in memory of Stanley. Those will be sold at the vigil with all the money going to the family. An elderly Lexington man who is accused of sexually abusing children decades ago appeared in court today for the first time in over a year.
Police say 78-year-old Jerry Cassidy's sexual abuse charges date back to the 1970s when he and his twin brother Jack Cassidy were Boy Scout troop leaders. Jack Cassidy has already been sentenced in the case, but as Caitlin Center reports, Jerry Cassidy's case was delayed again today.
This is the first we're seeing Jerry Cassidy in court in more than a year's time. His health too poor to make it to court appearances. The 78-year-old brought into Fayette Circuit Court Friday afternoon to face a judge, but court once again put off until July when he's expected to enter a guilty plea. He was scheduled in August, October, and November of 2015. And again this April. It's now almost been 2 years since he and twin brother Jack Cassidy were arrested on child pornography charges. The pair charged with sexual abuse back in the 1970s when they were Boy Scout troop leaders. Jack pleaded guilty and was sentenced in October of last year when he apologized to his victims. Jerry is scheduled for a change of plea appearance that's coming up in a couple of weeks. In Lexington, Caitlin Setner, WKYT.
Jerry Cassidy is scheduled July 12th at 10 a.m. for that. Well, enjoy these mid-80s today because that will feel almost cool compared to what is coming our way.
WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell is in our First Alert Weather Center with an early look at the forecast.
Yeah, this is nice compared to where we're going. Even into tomorrow when we get the low 90s back in town, and then on Sunday when they go into the mid-90s for daytime highs. That's straight up air temperature. No heat index included on that. Right now, though, in Lexington, we find ourselves at 85 degrees. Go down the road into Richmond, 84, and more mid-80s, stretching all the way into parts of eastern Kentucky. A little batch of rain also trying to work its way through that area as well. Another issue as we move into the weekend and beyond, It's going to be that humidity. It's going to come roaring back. It's down just a little bit today. You still notice it, of course. Saturday, we're going to call that oppressive, and that's going to be the best day you have as far as humidity is concerned, because once we get into Sunday and Monday, you get that tropical feel here. Tropics without the tropics. That's the problem. You're nowhere near the ocean. Showers showing up across parts of Elliott County, getting into Morgan County at this point under the Defender Radar Network. That's the only action we have out there at the moment. Now, as we advance into our forecast for you this evening, I think we're going to hover probably right around 83 degrees for the sun sets. Overnight tonight, temperatures into the upper 60s, and then tomorrow we're right back into the low 90s. And that's just the beginning of it. We will track all of the heat and humidity coming up in just a few minutes, Amber.
An old-fashioned car wash fundraiser has grown into a community-wide event to help a Madison County teen battling cancer. Hunter Sheen was diagnosed with leukemia in October of 2013. Since that time, his family has been struggling to make ends meet. When Sergeant Kathy Eves with the Richmond Police Department met the family and saw their need for help, she decided to take action.
Well, I went to the Richmond Police Department and I said, we've got to do something to help this family. And from there, I contacted Virgil Grant with Eastside Community, which is where I attend church, and also Mike Eckler of Richmond Car and Truck Center, and they just jump-started this. And everybody in the community has kind of helped out, and it's been a big event, so we're looking forward to helping this family.
The car wash fundraiser is Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 at the Richmond Car and Truck Center. That's tomorrow. You can find all that information on our website, WKYT.com. A fast-moving wildfire in Southern California has destroyed at least 100 homes and is threatening 1,500 others.
That fire northeast of Bakersfield has forced the evacuation of several thousand people. Danielle Nottingham is in one of the devastated communities.
The explosive fire that's racing through Lake Isabella skipped over Betsy Johnson's home. When you came up this driveway and you saw that your home was still standing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So yeah, someone was looking after us.
But many of her neighbors were not so lucky. Fire officials say flames destroyed at least 100 homes and about 20,000 acres.
Our firefighters have been engaged in a firefight of epic proportions, trying to save every structure.
The fire started late Thursday afternoon, fueled by temperatures in the 90s, single-digit humidity, and wind gusts. A fire captain recorded the devastation live online.
It's never good to see something like that.
Adding to the danger, many houses have propane tanks. Firefighters are working around the clock to put out these hot spots that keep flaring up. There are still 1,500 homes in the path of this fire. Crews say saving them will take everything they have. Hundreds of firefighters are working the fire from the ground. At least 3 were hospitalized for smoke inhalation. Helicopters, air tankers, and retardant-dropping aircraft are fighting the blaze from above, and they're not getting any help from Mother Nature. Forecasters say the hot, dry weather will stick around through the weekend. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Lake Isabella, California.
Well, fire officials say the power is out and cell phone service is down in the small towns around that fire. They are investigating how it started.
Members of the music industry are speaking out about gun violence. What they have to say ahead on WKYT News at 4:30.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Mix of sun and clouds out there for most of us today. Now, you compare this to yesterday. We were dealing with one round of showers and storms that passed especially north and east of Lexington, and then the latter round that came during the evening hours last night had a lot of bite to it. Right now, we're looking outside. You see that mix of sun and clouds with a temperature currently at 85 degrees with humidity. Even though we had a front press through the area and try to clean the air up, it didn't really succeed a whole lot. Pushed our daytime high, or at least our daytime highs, down generally anywhere from 5 to maybe 10 degrees compared to where they were yesterday, depending on your location. So you fall in that little window. Feels like 88 degrees anyhow out there with those higher levels of humidity. And that's coming with a northerly wind that's rolling in here around 12 miles per hour. Now that is impressive because normally you get that drier air mass to settle in. We are looking area-wide now at low and mid-80s throughout central and eastern Kentucky. Very comfortable stuff compared to where we have been and especially compared to where we're going. starting with tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a whole lot worse. Look at the heat index. We factor in the humidity, and it does bump it up area-wide to make it feel just slightly worse out there. But you're not seeing any 90s. We're still roughly in the 80s all over the place. Compare this to yesterday. At the same exact time, before the big push of showers and thunderstorms came through, and we're 5 degrees cooler. So that puts us right at 90 here in Lexington. That puts us even warmer in many other locations because we're 8 degrees cooler in some of these other spots, 9 degrees. So a big swing in temperatures compared to yesterday. What we have out there today, a couple little batches of showers, maybe a lightning flash or two, a couple of rumbles of thunder showing up with a few of these. Maybe that next one that drops in from southern parts of Ohio could bring that. The one lone area that we're watching that remains, and that's it, is one passing just barely now into Morgan County out of Elliott County, and that's all we have. As we move into the weekend, humidity will be the name of the game. You can watch as it starts to thicken up. The deeper these greens get, that shows you where some of the most humid air will be. As we get into Sunday, that's when it really spreads into Kentucky. We're talking about a tropical field. Very high dew point values. And what that means is that's a measure of moisture in the atmosphere. And the closer it is to the temperature, the worse off you're going to be. And we are going to be up there. Heat index could be pushed close to 100 degrees. That's the feels like temperature that you experience when you walk outside. So be prepared for that. Hour by hour run, picking up on that little batch of moisture, dying out though, of course, as we get into the early morning hours and then into the day on your Saturday. We'll fire off maybe a stray shower or two, but mainly it stays quiet with highs hovering right around 90 degrees. But then we get into your Sunday, and that's when things start to really heat up, and we also increase our chances of showers and storms. Daytime highs coming in low to mid 90s. Those are actual air temperatures. Now, obviously, if you get caught under one of those showers or storms, going to be in much better shape. There's a 7-day. We rolled it out at you. A few days there, hovering right around 90 degrees or better. And then we get into next week where it becomes a stormy pattern. Imagine that, right? Same old as we go rolling toward July, guys.
So what you're telling us is enjoy today.
Enjoy 85 with a heat index close to 90. Enjoy it because it's going to be the best one.
All right, thanks, Jim.
Well, with all of that said, after all of these storms that we saw this week, it looks like the weather is looking good, maybe just extremely hot for tonight's Lakeside Live.
The free music concert series at Lexington Green continues this weekend. Tonight it's them Hamilton Boys. Tomorrow night it's Lexington's own Ben Lacey and Alan McKenzie. Lakeside Live will take place every weekend through August.
I'm Deanne Stevens out and about today, about to take the control of Officer Don's helicopter. More when we return from the sky here on WKYT.
When he is not live on the air for 98.1 The Bull or tracking traffic for us here at WKYT, Officer Don is usually up in the sky.
Our Deanne Stevens is out and about with more on Officer Don's Flight Training Academy. Hey, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys, and welcome back here to Officer Don Flight Training Academy. You know, I give you a hard time about a lot of things, but I don't feel real comfortable giving you a hard time about anything today.
Yeah, right now I'm pretty much the man. I've noticed you're being very nice. You're like, can I do anything for you, Officer Don?
Exactly.
Look at how you fly. I have so much respect for you. That's what you've been saying since we took off.
I totally do.
But
seriously.
now we're in the DJ booth or anywhere else? No,
Not so much. Not so much.
That's fine.
This is a great tool for us at the TV station because not only are you able to get places quickly with the helicopter, covering news and traffic situations, but you also use your license as a way of teaching others with the Flight Training Academy. And you said, Deanne, relax. I'm a little nervous. I'm sweating over here. You said, relax. It's okay.
It is.
And that's what you probably have to do with your students?
Yeah, you just got to think of it as cool, because we're going to take the controls here in just a second. And this is what you would do like on your first lesson. This is a lesson, basically.
Right.
What we're going to do, I'm going to have you operate the cycling, which is what steers the helicopter.
Okay.
So put your right hand right there.
Okay.
You're relaxing it. You want to rest it on your leg. Now pick you a point way up here, way up ahead, like what, that mountaintop.
Okay.
Right, and I want you just to fly to that mountaintop and just get the feel of it. It's going to swing back and forth a little bit, but it's just very responsive. And
I would prefer you not take your hand off of there.
I'm going to let go, but trust me, I'm strapped in here with you too. Ain't nothing going to happen. Right, so you look ahead and now just fly. See, you're flying.
Okay.
Like now, if you want to go to the right, look to the right and just think right and steer the helicopter there.
Yeah, that makes me nervous.
Okay, now level
Take it back.
Level off. There you go.
Oh,
Good
wow.
Job. Good job, really. Now push forward just a little bit.
Does that make you go faster?
Well, it will, and also if you bring the nose down, you'll obviously go toward the ground a little bit. So push forward just a little bit.
Not anything anybody wants to hear when they're up in a helicopter. Okay.
And now just come left one more time. So
okay, you take it. You take it.
Keep going.
Can you take it?
Yeah, there you go.
I gotta concentrate. Take it. Take it.
Good job.
Wow.
Good job.
Okay, seriously, what are the qualifications? How do you become a helicopter pilot? How old do you have to be? Because
Hey, listen,
this is what everybody wants to do.
If you can sit up here with me and not creep me out, I can teach you to fly. Okay, it's pretty
Come
simple.
on now.
That's about the qualification. You know, there's really no age limit. I mean, I've got kids as young as 14 that come up and take the first lesson. You got to be 17 to get your license. But people, I'm telling you, from 17 years old, the oldest student is like 67 right now. So yeah, and there's people that want to do it professionally, recreationally. You know, and some people just always wanted to fly a helicopter.
Or they're fulfilling a lifelong dream of becoming a helicopter pilot, right?
That's right.
Okay, so how do folks get more info? How do they contact you and get all the logistics of Flight Training Academy?
You just go to officerdon.com and just Google that.
He has his own website.
Well, yeah, and it'll go straight to my phone. Okay, that's how big time I am. All you do is just shoot me an email and I'll email you back and we'll go flying.
Very cool. Okay, I'm gonna try this one more time.
All right, here you go.
All right, just keep your hand close by. What's the red button do?
I don't touch the red button.
I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about flying high with Officer Don. Check it out at officerdon.com for more on his Flight Training Academy. Back to you guys.
So here's the thing. I don't know if she passed or not, and we haven't seen Deanne back, so she could still be up there circling
scary.
somewhere. It is scary.
Those two have a lot of fun together. A summer thriller might scare you away from the beach, plus Adele goes back to Spotify.
And musicians join forces for gun control. Chris Martinez has your eye on entertainment.
The music industry is calling for an end to gun violence. Billboard magazine posted an open letter to Congress demanding gun control measures. More than 200 musicians and executives signed on, including Katy Perry, Paul McCartney, and Lady Gaga. Al Pacino finally made the list for the Kennedy Center honors. More than 40 years after the first Godfather movie, the Oscar winner will be recognized for his influence on American culture. Also on this year's list, gospel singer Mavis Staples and the rock band The Eagles. Adele's latest album is now available on streaming sites. The British star released 25 in November, but kept it off Spotify in order to boost album sales. Opening today, Blake Lively stars in the beach thriller The Shallows. A young surfer finds herself in a life or death fight with a great white shark. Lively says even as she's hunted, her character remains sympathetic to the shark's point of view.
She swims up onto its feeding grounds. You know, she's a threat to the shark's survival. He doesn't know what she is, and it's something that's coming towards his food source.
Lively spent time diving with real sharks before the shoot, which helped her understand their behaviors. And that's your Eye on Entertainment. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
A former NASA engineer has created a working Nerf gun to end all Nerf wars. It's an invention you have to see to believe. Well, after yesterday's hectic day of weather, I think we deserved kind of a cool down, a calmer day this Friday.
We like the calm days, don't we, Jim? But we are really starting to heat up for our weekends.
Yeah, that heat and humidity are really going to take center stage here as we advance into Saturday and Sunday, and really beyond into Monday as well. But what will happen, though, we'll get into that same pattern where we have a daily chance of showers and storms. Hard to find very much activity out there now. More a mix of sun and clouds with temperatures down quite a bit compared to the same time yesterday. Somewhere between 5 and 10 degrees cooler for a lot of folks across parts of central and eastern Kentucky. Good looking day, too. Here's what we've got on our Defender Radar Network. One lone shower getting ready to cross from parts of Morgan County into Johnson County, and it will keep rolling through that area with some general light rain. As we plan your Saturday for you here, you're looking at 85 right now. Lexington feels like temperature of 87. We go rolling into the day tomorrow. Daytime highs will likely get into the low 90s. Now let's get you up to date on the traffic situation out there with Officer Don.
Outbound Richmond Road, just before the circle, there's a collision between the water company and New Circle for outbound Richmond. Right lane is blocked there, and we're dealing with a delay of about 10 minutes to get past that point. Also, heads up, a collision in Georgetown. This one is near the Toyota plant on Cherry Blossom Way. Right now, it's very difficult for second shift to actually get into the plant because of this collision on Cherry Blossom, and it's causing some major traffic headaches there in Georgetown. Now back to you in the studio.
Officer Don, thank you. An awesome dad, a super-sized, super cool toy, and an accent change. It's the video that will have you talking. Take a look at this.
All right, this is such a heartwarming story. An 8-year-old Kansas boy battling brain cancer is getting a little extra courage thanks to his father. Gabriel Marshall has gone through a lot in his young life, and after a recent surgery left him with a large scar on his head, Gabriel's confidence went to an all-time low. In attempts to raise his son's spirits, Gabriel's father got a tattoo on his head to match his son's surgery scar. The loving act has now gone viral on social media. You've probably seen it, and has been shared thousands of times on Facebook.
That's the sweetest. All right, this next story is sure to bring the little kid out of you. A former NASA engineer has created what has to be the world's largest Nerf gun. Mark Rober says he created the freakishly large toy to survive the ongoing Nerf wars at his office. It's powered by a compressed air canister that packs 3,000 psi and fires huge, goofy darts made out of toilet plungers at 40 miles per hour. Rober says when it comes to his office hijinks, it's go big or go home. I like that theory, but that also seems extremely dangerous.
Just a little.
So, yeah, all right. Well, a Texan underwent routine surgery to fix an overbite and woke up speaking with the Queen's tongue.
People who don't know me, that, hey, where are you from? I'm from Rosenberg. Oh, where's that? I'm like, we're here in Rosenberg. Oh, you're from here. How did you talk like that?
That is the craziest thing. Houston Methodist Sugar Land says in the last 100 years, less than 100 people worldwide get this rare disorder known as foreign accent syndrome. Lisa's doctor put her through a battery of tests trying to answer the hows and whys, but they can't.
I don't know. Oh.
My daughter laughs at the way I say tamales. So I used to be able to say it like a real Hispanic girl. Now I cannot.
Lisa hopes to one day regain her voice. Until then, she's learning to savor her accent. I know I pick up accents when I'm around really country people. You know what I mean? When I'm around my people.
And because the doctor says it's real, I'm going to go with it, but I'm still awfully skeptical. Yeah. All right. Thanks for being here with us. We hope you'll join us now. Here's what's coming your way at 5 o'clock.